welcome back to Daydream Believers with Elle and Elle. Elle? How the hell are ya?
I'm pretty well. Pretty well. I really need to figure out another thing to say to you in that period of the
Are you
intro.
actually pretty well, or are you just saying that you're pretty well?
Honestly, I was taking photos at a kindergarten today,
Poof, that's rough.
and I feel like I'm going to catch a cold this week.
You're most definitely going to catch a cold.
Oh, too many kids with,
boogers?
germs.
Oops.
They've got
With
a lot
boogers?
of germs. Yes.
Oh. Okay, John? You sound like John Lennon just then. They've got a lot of germs. that sounded nothing like you just then.
Yeah, it didn't sound too bad.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I feel like a lot of germs. Other than that, I'm a bit... What is my mood this week? I think, like, sunken-hearted.
Sunken-hearted.
Not for any romantic reason, more of a... I think I'm just feeling really, like, depleted in friendships at the moment.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, I'm a bit sad, but it's okay. It is what it is at the moment. And it's only been... I think it's just, like, an emotional roller coaster this last couple of weeks. In general, it's been the last couple of weeks I've just been feeling like that. But I think I'm addressing it this week, which has been nice.
I'm glad you're addressing it.
Yes.
You know, if only you thought of me as a friend, maybe your friendships would feel a bit more stable.
But knowing that you're always there by my side as a family member, it is as stable as it can come.
Yeah, but why can't I wear many hats?
You do. I wear so many hats. I don't want to put that pressure on you, my darling. I don't need you to wear the hats for me.
Oh, okay. I just thought I'd, you
already
lend
wear
a
the
hand,
hats. You just don't have
lend
the
a
label.
hand.
You wear all the hats. I just don't give you the label.
Who needs labels these days?
Exactly.
Come on. No one needs labels.
I need labels.
I need them.
I'm not gonna lie, I have a wedgie right now.
Oh, front wedgie?
Front wedgie.
The worst.
I know.
Some underwears give you more front wedgies than others.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I definitely feel that. And some materials of underwear, ugh.
Cotton. Gotta be cotton. Cotton only.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was such a big thing about fabrics and the nether regions, but
yes.
it really, there is a significant difference when you actually pay attention. Bacteria.
Yeah.
On the backside.
On the backside and the thrush and
Yeah.
yeah, not good. I learnt as a very young kid that I have to wear cotton. Cotton only. It's okay if the rest of the underwear is something else, but that section
the midsection
that is, covering my area. Because I don't know how to say it without changing my voice.
Yes.
Okay.
We're 30-year-old women. We're just afraid to say. We're not 30 actually yet, but
We're nearly 30.
We're nearly
and
30-year-old women are afraid to say.
I can't talk about sex yet. I have to call it my flower. Heiny. Or I have to say sex in a very funny way.
Yeah, you always
Sex. I've had sex.
every time.
Oh, Grandpa Simpson. He does me well.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, as long as that part, at the... Again, I'm about to change the way I talk again. The part that's there is cotton.
Yeah. It's so interesting. When I worked, so I used to work in intimate apparel when I was in my younger days.
You've done so many things.
I know so many
There's one of
jobs.
your hats.
Yes. So when I worked in intimate apparel, I remember so many people would come up to me like, I need cotton. Can you tell me which ones the cotton fabrics are?
Yeah.
And I didn't realize you can just read a tag that says what.
And you were
material.
like, where's the cotton? Where's the cotton?
I used to be so scared, and I'd be like, but aren't they all cotton? Like, I didn't understand. And then it freaked me out. And I was always like, why are people so obsessed with cotton? Cotton sounds like it would be non-breathable. But I realized, obviously, it is breathable.
It is breathable.
Yeah, but I remember working in apparel shops, like whether it was like other clothing stores or just intimate apparel, I was I never took the time to learn the fabric things.
Yeah.
So I was just always in a state of panic if someone asked me a fabric style question.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, the difference. I'd make up a fake.
So if someone said to you, Do you think cotton would be better, or, do you think I'll get away with polyester?
I didn't know polyester was anything at that
don't
point. I'm
know.
like, polyester, probably they all look like they say polyester on them. My top says polyester on it, everything says polyester. Polyester, the more you say it sounds like it's more like rhythmic, polyester.
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 Polyester. Polyester. That's all I got. That's all I can give you for polyester.
Yeah. Anyway, how do we start
no,
talking
hang
about how
on,
to
hang
wedge
on.
you? Okay.
Polyester. Sounds like an old, 1960s actor.
Polyester.
Oh, did you see that Western with polyester? What a great actor.
Actress.
Actor. Polyester.
Isn't Polly a girl name?
No, not in the 50s. Not this particular actor. He's polyester. It's fake, obviously.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, but Polly is a man's name. I was like, have I
In this scenario, polyester is a man.
Yeah.
And he made old westerns. And they were fantastic.
I'm just thinking still about a man named Polly, and I'm like,
Polyester.
Polyester, yeah.
It could have been like a nickname for Apollo. Polyester.
Oh, yeah, Apollo. Apollo.
It's like Charlton Heston.
Huh?
Charlton Heston?
I'm not following.
Anyway.
Charlton
Charlton Heston.
Charlton is a name? Like Carlton, but with a ch.
I'm now confused. I have to Google if Charlton Heston is a real person. Charlton Heston. Whew, yes. He was an actor. He was an old actor. Charlton Heston.
Anyway, so back to before my wedgie conversation.
Oh, yeah.
I was feeling sad, so I ended up...
Oh, yes. Your sadness.
Yes, so I was feeling a bit down yesterday, so I decided in good old fashion to watch Star Wars. Of course, Revenge of the Sith was my chosen
Was
the
chosen one?
Of course it was the chosen one.
You are the chosen one. Yes.
You were like a brother to me, Anakin. But
I loved you.
Yeah.
I hate you.
Anyway,
man.
for those, I didn't get into Star Wars until, the pandemic.
Yeah.
And it is quite...
Damn,
yeah,
Elle.
it took me ages. I never, watched it. There was never an opportunity to watch it.
Missed.
I know, and I remember you always saying you were a fan of it, so I was like, maybe I should watch this thing.
And then...
Gosh, I'm glad I did. Honestly, it's the spacey parts and all that stuff is very exciting and cool as well.
Yeah.
But I am a sucker for the storyline and just the lessons learned from one from that series. Is it a series? Was that what I'd call it? A series?
Yeah. The story of Anakin Skywalker is probably one of the most tragic.
I would
It's
say
extremely tragic. A boy that was the chosen one, is the chosen one still, is going, training to be a Jedi, is looking like to be the best of the best, falls in love, too emotional, turns to the dark side. He is Darth Vader for years. Years and years and years. Purely because of love again, he goes back to the good side. He's Anakin again.
Yeah.
It is...
But so long after, though.
Yeah. I mean, it is absolutely tragic. And I remember my grandmother had the videotapes of Star Wars, obviously the original trilogy. One of my first memories, me realizing how I'm feeling, was when I was watching Return of the Jedi. So episode 6.
Yeah.
And it was the part where Luke was taking off Darth Vader's helmet. And I remember at the time, I was probably 4 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. 4, 5 years old. Around there. I remember at the time thinking, this is a huge deal. This is a huge moment. I'm watching something crazy go down.
Whoa, that's a really cool memory.
Then, it's one of my earliest memories where I remember thinking to myself.
Wow, your first level of consciousness.
Yeah. And I remember thinking, what is happening is very intense. Something that I need to focus on and learn about.
Wow.
Yeah. And I have been a huge Star Wars fan since.
That's insane.
Yeah. Star Wars has been ingrained in my nature. It's like it changed my brain chemistry.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I could say the exact same thing because I feel like even though I didn't watch it until I was in my 20s,
Yeah.
I got so invested, and it's like, I think I told you the other day, like I spoke in Yoda voice
Yeah.
for weeks, if
Yeah.
not months at a time afterwards,
yeah.
because like I just felt, it truly felt like it changed something within me in such a positive way. It changed like my psyche slightly.
Yeah.
Because I just thought, like, especially Revenge of the Sith, right? Because I thought to myself, like, I'm watching someone make decisions for their life based out of fear.
Yeah.
And as someone that's super, super anxious and gets a lot of intrusive thoughts, I related to it so much. And I just felt like, especially the first time I watched it, I thought to myself, like, this is actually magic, like what I'm watching right now. Like, it's explaining everything in such a discreet way that seems like it's so like far out of distance, but it's so relatable to the everyday person, because we all have fears of our own, and it's so easy for fear to then become like to manifest into like hatred, and then that hatred manifesting into suffering. And like, it's so true that the thing that you fear most usually only happens because you've allowed the fear to create it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. The dreams that Anakin was having of losing his mother. I mean, like the mother thing. He lost his mother anyway.
Yeah.
Because of this. I think, what are they called again?
The sand people.
Yeah, the sand people, but I forgot their actual names.
Yeah.
But everything that happened to Padme.
Yeah.
The fear of the pregnancy and everything like that. It was all because of him.
Yeah.
Everything he feared about Padme, he created. The only reason why Padme died when the twins were born,
she had no
was
will
a
to
broken
live.
heart.
Yeah.
So it was literally because of him, and that is
It's honestly devastating.
It's absolutely devastating because of who he was meant to be in that universe. He was meant to bring balance, and he still did.
Yeah,
don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
He is the chosen one at the end of the day.
It's just not
he
in the
did
period
bring
of time
balance.
that they thought. I think it had to be. It obviously, the prophecy was written in a way that's, you don't know when the prophecy is meant to be met. So it's like it had to happen like that for him to have Luke to then like for it all to mesh
absolutely
itself.
Tragic.
It is very tragic.
And you think about Obi-Wan's life.
Oh,
and it's just, oh man, it's so sad. It is so sad. And then even having the Obi-Wan show. Did you watch the Obi-Wan show?
I haven't watched it yet.
Oh,
I was meant to.
It's not the best show.
Yeah, I think that's why I put it off from people saying.
It definitely has some of the best Star Wars content in it.
Okay.
Even though the show overall is not the best.
Okay, that's something I have to watch.
There's obviously a final battle between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader.
Mm-hmm.
That entire battle and the conversation that they have, it is fantastic, and it is so sad. It is so sad because you've got Obi-Wan saying, I'm sorry again.
Yeah.
Like, basically like how he did.
He feels like he
3.
failed him.
He's basically saying stuff like that again. And then Anakin is like, well, not Anakin, Darth Vader was like, Anakin is gone. I am what remains. Yeah. Like, it's, and when he said that, that struck a chord with me, because it's not like, it's like he was saying that Anakin's gone. What's left is scraps. Yeah. What's left is nothing. There's nothing underneath that helmet. It's really sad.
It's quite devastating.
It's really sad. But my point being, bringing up the Obi-Wan show, is that Obi-Wan is just like a ghost of a man, basically, because he loses Qui-Gon. Obviously then loses Anakin and every other Jedi in the world besides Yoda. Yeah. Essentially. The person how he thought was his brother ended up killing most of the Jedi. And then he grows up and he never gets that closure. Yeah. Because Vader just kills him. He's just like, I'm ready. He's basically like, I'm ready to die now. He doesn't even fight him when he sees him in episode 4. Yeah.
It's actually quite sad.
Yeah. It's really, really sad.
Yeah, it's like a life filled with like taking responsibility for someone else's life.
Yeah.
Dude, Palpatine is
Yeah, he's legit evil.
Actually
like,
evil.
He's the essence of evil.
Yeah, it just blows my mind. And such, no offense, but like very odd acting. Like rewatching it again,
Why?
it's the way he's like, like
That, that's the same actor from the original.
Yes, I know. That's why I find it so odd, because it's just like it feels like it's fake acting when he's doing.
It's
like
not
when
odd
he's
to me.
getting caught. When he's getting caught by in episode 2, when he's getting caught by Count Dooku.
Yeah.
And then when he's like pretending, but it's like a fake getting caught, because it's like, and he's just like,
Nah, it's perfection.
it's funny, and I like it. It makes me.
You mean at the start of episode 3?
or maybe start of episode 3. Actually, you might be right.
Yeah.
But it's like obviously he knows that he's not actually trapped, sort of thing. But like, it's like
it's all a ploy.
Yeah, it's all a ploy. That's what I'm saying. But it's like so. I think the acting to me is just like so obviously a ploy that it like.
I love it. That's what makes it amazing, because he was right under everyone's noses.
I know, but it's
that's
like,
what makes it fantastic. And then he's like, "Do it."
That part
and then
I love.
it's amazing. That's what
Yeah.
he was able to hide himself from Yoda. Like
that blows my mind.
That
To
is a
some
huge
degree,
deal.
It blows my mind that like no one picked up on
No
it.
one
matter,
picked up on nothing.
Nothing. It
It's-
blows my
it's-
bloody mind.
Yeah.
And obviously it's a movie,
crazy.
so it makes sense why no one picked up on it. But it's like, come on, guys, it's so obvious.
That's what makes it so amazing.
Yeah.
Is that's how powerful. That's how powerful he was.
Yes. Anyway, for those who have not watched Star Wars, I'm sorry we just went through the whole thing, and it probably still made no sense to you. So I'd still recommend going and watching it.
Well, I mean, the first one came out in like 1979. So if you haven't watched it, I mean,
Hey, I didn't watch it up until recently. I feel like actually it's very rare that I've met since I've become like more into it. I quoted it actually yesterday to my other friend.
yeah.
And she was like, I've actually never watched it. I don't know what you're talking about.
Jesus Christ.
And I'm like, damn. So I don't think I'm the only one that waited till I was in my 20s to watch it. So if you are someone that, if you're,
spoiler
especially
alert then.
yeah,
Holy
if you're
shit.
someone that hasn't watched it yet, and you're like, oh, I've got no interest in watching it.
Yeah,
Just give it a shot.
Don't
because
be fooled
I was
by the sci-fi-ness of it.
Yeah. The sci-fi, like the sci-fi part is its own thing.
Yeah.
But like, if you sit and focus on the base level of like what the actual context is about, and like you try from a perspective of someone like me that I love like analyzing things.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite movies to analyze.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite stories.
Yeah, 100%
for sure. It is extremely tragic. Like, that's what Star Wars is. It's a tragedy.
But it's also so many proper life lessons all in one, and so many like little hints at different parts of history and life and like war and religion. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's
would highly recommend.
it's good.
Please go watch it.
There's a reason why it is what it is.
100%.
George Lucas is a genius.
Agreed. Very cool.
Yeah, justice for Star Wars, because it hasn't been great since Disney bought it. They've made some very questionable decisions, but it is what it is. At least we have the original 6.
Yeah, exactly.
Although a lot of people hate the first 3, like episode 1 to 3. A lot of people
everyone
hate
hates it, but those are my favorites.
Well, I think...
But I think maybe because I'm a later on watcher.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So we grew up, like when me and my brothers, we were all obsessed with Star Wars growing up. So when me and my brothers were growing up, that's when the prequels came out. So like the theory that we have is if you grew up with the prequels, you love the prequels.
Yeah.
But if you grew up before the prequels, and so you grew up with the originals,
Yeah.
and then you watch the prequels, you hate it for some reason. We have a great guest.
We do.
A great guest.
So we are talking to Harper Bloom.
Harper Bloom.
I had such a fun time chatting with her. I think that
too.
She just was truly just like a very, very grounded, nice person to chat with.
Yeah, most definitely. She was really wonderful. Had great insights.
Yes.
Really great taste in friends.
I know.
Like, I thought it was just so sweet. You'll like, if you keep listening, you'll see what I mean. But just one of the sweetest people that we've spoken to.
I think so too. Just you could tell she has a very, very pure heart and very open-minded to life and experiences and just the people that she comes across. And I just really, really enjoyed this conversation.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Elle.
Yeah. Stay tuned for the episode, guys, and make sure you give her latest single, Pinwheel, a listen.
Yes, please do. It is fantastic, fantastic, fantastic.
Fantastico.
Before we get to Harper, just going to ask you guys a few things. Please follow us on any platforms that you use to listen to podcasts or social media.
Please.
Anything.
And if you have a friend, just let them know about the podcast. Spread it out. Word
Spread
of
it
mouth.
out. Come on, guys.
Please.
We really need it.
Yes.
We're desperate.
Desperado. There's only so many times you can like your own posts.
Desperado. I know. There really is.
Yeah. On all the accounts.
On all of our accounts. But at least between us two, like, we know at least our reels will get at least 12 likes.
12?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, my dog account.
Yeah. Yeah.
Woof, woof.
Woof, woof. All right, guys, we'll be right back with Harper Bloom.
Oh, we're diving in.
Diving
may
in.
as well
Dive
dive
in.
How I
We're
got
going
into the
quick.
industry. Oh, well, let's talk about Perth then. Well,
Oh, yes, please.
Perth good.
Perth, no comment, but, well, I went to school there and I grew up in like a really like Catholic area.
Oh, yeah.
And very, very like, which I didn't realize at the time, but I grew up in quite a homophobic place.
Okay.
Right.
Not one that like embraced music, or it was all like study and go to uni type thing. So even though my dad like got me to play guitar at a really young age, I never thought that it would be something that I could do as a career. And then went to New York when I was like 23,
Ooh,
and
nice.
for a few months, and then I was just exposed to like, oh my gosh, I'm not actually a crazy person. There's a lot of people that, you know, are gender diverse and embrace their sexuality, and all these people pursuing art, and then I started doing open mic nights there, and that's sort of where I felt confident to just do stuff.
That's so sick.
Because I didn't have that in Perth. It was so strange.
That would have felt so, I can imagine, like, relieving to kind of be able to find people that know how you feel.
Yeah, and just see everyone out there embracing their quirks and just going for it, and then it just gives you a lot of confidence.
Yeah, because I think as kids and even as teenagers, if you aren't with parents that kind of travel a lot, when you're in your own little bubble, you don't know that anywhere else is different. So you kind of assume that everywhere else is the same.
Yeah, because I was talking about that with someone today. When you're growing up, like your parents are like your whole world, and so you think
So true, yeah.
and then you think what they value, and you know, everything that they stand for is what's right. So if you're feeling a different way, like, well, for me, like feeling like, you know, I'm gay, and then wanting to pursue a career in the arts and things like that, but then you don't have any role model for that, it's hard to think that that's something you can do.
It's true. Like, we're really sometimes, like, until we're stuck in like this, like a box that's like that they've created for us, or society's created, and then it's like the moment that like box is expanded, it's like, oh, like there's possibility for like me to be every thought I've possibly had can actually come true if I'm like, or can exist in this same lifetime. It doesn't have to just exist in my head. It's really,
I don't know
really
what your
special.
parents were like, if they were I don't know your background, but you sound like you connect with that at least.
Yeah.
Oh, I definitely do. I definitely had that moment, that aha moment, basically, where I realized, you know what, me and my mother, to be more specific, we don't see eye to eye. Like, we met each other as adults, and we've got very differing opinions, and we've just very different. And to be honest, our relationship hasn't worked out. Like, I haven't seen her or really spoken to her in 10 years because of that. So it's really interesting how you become an adult and you meet your parents as adults. And you have those conversations, and how your relationship can change because of it.
Yeah, because you see them as a person,
really
just as anyone else.
Yeah.
Because I found that with my dad. It's been a real battle. Just because he grew up in the country, and he's very into liberal politics and things like that.
Yeah.
He's very right wing, and then I really struggle with that. and I struggle trying to inform him. And I've just felt like there's this battle as adults where you're like, you know where you stand now, and you're choosing to be well informed, and then it's like a struggle, like meeting eye to eye sometimes.
Yeah, and you feel torn
Yeah,
within yourself because you have to fight in yourself that little kid in you who looked up to your parents
I
versus
know.
the more logical thinking you now.
Oh,
Like,
I know.
which side do you pull from? It's very difficult.
Oh, it is a tricky line to walk. Obviously, you
Yeah.
have walked it. But yeah, just trying to keep informing him. Soft nudging.
That's
Yeah,
the
it's a
best you
soft
can do.
nudge. I think that's something I've had to learn over the years. It's like, as much as like I am at a point where I kind of want to like shake them and be like, let's like please just like open your eyes to what I'm seeing.
Yes.
It's like I've had to like let, in a healthy way for myself, like let go of like needing to like fix or like get them to see what I see. Like I can continue on with my own individual life without
Yeah.
having to like carry them along with me. Like I'm allowed to like not be responsible for their life and their emotions and how they see the world. And that
Yeah.
like if it doesn't work out for them, or if like they, whatever choices they choose to make for themselves doesn't have to mean anything about me, really.
Oh, yeah, tricky, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a hard thing. The battle between like becoming an adult and like your parent allowing you to become an adult, but you also seeing your parent as an adult, like you said, it's a weird, it's an interesting part of life.
It is. We transition.
Yeah, it is.
We've transitioned. We've done well.
Once you went to New York and like you've witnessed that and you've felt that within yourself, like, so you came back here and like music, you just continued, like the open mic nights kind of gave you that more like that pump that you needed
Yeah,
to really get into the industry.
yeah. I actually, after I was there for a few months, and I wrote all these songs, and then I was sort of like, oh, I can't. I just, after being here, I didn't want to move back to Perth, because I felt like my personality, and I just felt like I'd sort of figured stuff out for myself, and I didn't want that to be um, pushed down again. And it was just basically where I was brought up as well. Like, I'm sure there's a lot of progressive parts of Perth and good pockets of music scenes, but yeah, I just knew I wanted to move to Melbourne because it felt like it had that energy of New York on a smaller level. So
I've
pretty
heard
much
that
It
moved
does,
here.
yeah.
Yeah, it's great. It's so good. So pretty much moved here like straight away after New York and kept doing open mics, and then I worked with the Ben McCarthy on an EP pretty much as soon as I got here. He was
That's
really
so
nice.
awesome. That's so cool.
He's a nice guy.
How do you feel like when it comes to your songwriting? Like, where do you pull your inspiration from? Like, how do you usually like get into the flow of like your songwriting?
Yeah, I used to just write. I used to be so lyric focused, and I think in the end that's where I sort of um, struggled to progress a little bit because at the start it was all lyric focused, and I was making melodies and things, but I wasn't having like a broader scope on how the music sounded and how other people connected with it. I was more thinking, oh, these lyrics are great, so like this song's going to be great, but actually that's not how it works, which is interesting. And so over time, I then started working with different co-writers and yeah, still writing a lot and bringing those to the sessions. But then, yeah, and then I would work with Tim, who's like a top liner, I think you would call it. And so he would hear a melody that I sing or a lyric that I sing, and then just change it all up and add different sounds and rhythms and textures. And so it's like a big bouncing idea now rather than something that's super structured.
Yeah,
And then we polish it off at the end and try and make a cohesive sound.
that's so
So
beautiful.
it's a bit different now.
Yeah.
I love that you can still like, you get to still have your like lyrics that like meant so much to you and you found that spark for, but you get to like now create the whole like holistic
Yeah.
experience for
It's
it.
like, I'd say it's like a marriage between the lyrics and everything else that goes into it. It's got to
Yeah.
be, it's all kind of got to go back and forth with each other. It's like not a one-way street type thing.
Yeah, it's like cooking and you're sort of throwing
Yes.
everything
Much
together
better.
like a long siesta rather than
Yes.
just like, I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's been so much better this way. and I've just been able to pick different lyrics and blend them all. Like there was this bridge that I was set on it being a bridge for like years. And then when I was working with Tim and we had sort of come up, this was a song called Flutterby, and we came up with some different parts. And then I was like, I have this amazing bridge. And he was like, no, that's a second verse. And just stuff like that really helps you.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know, you just get trapped in a box when you're doing it on your own, and
Yeah.
you realize, oh, this actually will make the song so much more dynamic and better if I do it this way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I guess you kind of got to be a bit more flexible,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
when it comes to writing music.
And that can just help you grow, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just open to the growth and like getting that actual feedback, which is, I think, the best part of being an artist is like
Yeah.
you can have an artistic and creative flow of your own, but like being open-minded and never like having it too rigid is what creates like what makes it like art, in my opinion. Like
Yes.
you're like you can experiment with things that you wouldn't necessarily think of yourself.
Yeah, I think collaboration is key, and I just love having multiple people listening and being a part of it, because otherwise I think you can get pigeonholed or narrow-minded in what you're doing. It's good to have like lots of ears and ideas popping out and then trying to mold them perfectly. That's what
Yeah,
we're trying
no,
to
that makes
yeah.
total sense.
Yeah. Tell us about Walk My Way. I love that song. I would love
That's so
to
funny.
know like how you went through writing that song and what it's like, what from you, what it's about. Like I really like it. And I like how
Aw.
it starts quickly.
Yeah, you
Like
get
it gets-
straight into it.
It's
Yeah.
into it. You're like, oh, like
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, you kind of
I like
get,
it.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind of like a hook, like like
Yeah.
TikTok hooks, like it's like
Yes.
actually wraps you into it straight away.
Oh, thank you. That's so fun. It's so funny because that's a song that just it came together within minutes, and it's just funny how that's like the most popular song I've had so
That's
far.
amazing. It's always that, isn't it? The ones that you just kind of put together and you put out there and it's
I
what
know.
works.
It's interesting. Yeah, it's funny when that happened. But yeah, I basically just had this little melody, the little melody line like do 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 that just started playing that on the guitar, and then I just sang the chorus straight out, and it just came out of my mouth. And I think it just came from when I was a teenager, and I was in high school, and I would have like all these crushes on straight girls, and I would be like, oh, damn, I wish they were just like, I don't know. I think people are more open-minded now. Like I feel like anyone just falls in love with anyone, but back in the day when I was in high school, I think it was like taboo. So even
Yeah.
if someone felt like you were connected with someone, they'd get scared because they didn't want to be a lesbian. So that's, I think, what I was channeling there.
Yeah,
Even though it's
Yeah.
like a fun song. Yeah. So yeah, and then the rest of the lyrics I sort of got, it's a bit cheesy, but they sort of came from The Notebook. I love that movie.
yeah. I love that movie too. It's so
Love
good.
that movie.
Oh my gosh, it's
You're making me
so
want to watch the movie now. I haven't watched it in a while.
I cry.
Yeah, bad.
Yeah, it's
A lot
it's
of
impossible not
tears.
to cry. I don't think anyone like it's a bit of like a red flag if someone doesn't cry.
That's a red flag.
Yeah.
You're
It
right.
really is, yeah.
If you're like, casually dating, you should watch that with someone and see if they cry.
Just like watch.
That's
like,
a really good indicator.
Yeah.
Yeah, a hinge indicator.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
is this person a psychopath?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Like, do they not feel anything? Like,
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
no, I love that.
Favorite movie. So good.
The song "All the Kids," so your like latest release. Tell us about how like that came together, and because it's definitely a different. I see the different sound in that compared to your prior music from a few years ago. Like, what's happened for you to like enter this like new direction for yourself, sort of?
Yeah. Well, I think years ago I was just writing on an acoustic guitar on my own. And now I took like a couple years away, and like last year, this is when I started collaborating with Tim, who I now co-write on everything, but he's just incredible. Like he does a lot of, he's a synth, he can play drums, he's an incredible multi-instrumentalist. So it now came from a background where so I was bringing the lyrics to him, and then he was bouncing around different melodies on different instrumentation, like mostly synth, at the start, and then would make a melody line, and so it became more sort of indie pop and just layered with different rhythms and a lot more different. Yeah, I don't know how to explain it, but it's
Yeah.
just
Indie pop, I would say, makes sense. Yeah.
yeah. And then we went and worked with Charlie Westrop in London last year, and he just tried to make it really nostalgic and cohesive. We wanted all the tracks to be really, distinct in that it had that sort of nostalgic
It does
indie
have
pop.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
saying to Elle actually when we first listened to the song, I was like, something about the music just like makes me feel like I'm on a coastal drive, but like
Yes.
it's like being like I when I listen to music, I like imagine I'm in a setting most of the time, or like I'm watching myself in a music video, and I imagine myself in like a coastal drive where like the video is filmed with like a lot of noise on it, like so like a lot of green, and I have that vibe with a lot of your music. Like I really it brings off this sense of nostalgia there, but also just like a chillaxness.
Yeah.
But like you can just always like chillaxness is boppy, but like you can always like just have it playing. You know?
Yeah, it's extremely pleasant to your ears.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think all the
Extremely.
kids is definitely that vibe, like coastal drive, like low key, but
Coastal Drive.
still quite boppy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was really fun to make, and it was just all about like being when I first moved to Melbourne, we were up on a rooftop, like all drinking and having a good time. So we were just reflecting on that in the lyrics, and so it's pretty
Yeah.
low key but happy.
That's lovely.
That is
Yeah.
lovely.
90s vibe
90s
When I
vibes.
was
and
90s.
when I was young.
Oh.
Yes. Good times.
Oh, hang on, no, I was just born in the 90s.
Yeah.
So were we, but we had like
Not that
5
old.
years of good life, you know? in that 90s
5
time.
years. Those first 5 years.
Yeah.
though.
Yeah, they were big.
Those were it.
They defined us. We just
Defined
realised
us.
it. Oh yeah.
So, are we technically 90s kids? Because are you a 90s kid if you grew up in the 90s, or you were a 90s kid if you're born in the 90s? That's
I
kind of
feel
a question that I've
Wait,
always
what
wondered.
year are you born?
I reckon no, we're 90s kids. Wait, were you born in the 90s?
Yes.
Yeah, well, 95.
Because everyone's born in 2000s these days. It's
I
freaking me
know.
out.
It freaks me out too.
94. So we're
Ah.
close.
Yeah, you would have graduated the
Yes.
same year as
so
me.
old. It's
I
okay,
know-
let's not talk
I
about
know.
it.
Stop. Oh
Yeah,
my
I
God.
know.
Have you hit the 30 yet?
Yes,
I
have
just
you...
did.
Oh,
I'm freaking
Congratulations.
out.
It's okay.
How's
It's
it
okay.
feel?
It's exciting.
Oh, do you know what? I was freaking out about it, and then now I feel really good.
Yeah.
That's
Like I
good.
feel like 30s. I want to just peak in my.
Yeah, that's what I
Yes.
was thinking. Yeah.
Overrated 20s, I feel
Yeah.
like 20s
It
are.
was fun. I've enjoyed it. But I feel like 30s is like this thing that's like a secret sweetness. you know?
I think 30s and 40s are going to be amazing because you figure out who you are at this point. Like you've
Yes.
kind of got a sense of who you are. And I feel like the more you're approaching 30, the more you're starting to just not give a shit. And I
Yeah.
think that's why the 30s, 40s, even 50s. I've heard people say 50s is like the best decade. So we've still got
Really?
a bit to go.
that's good to know.
Heaps of people have said that to me.
Really?
And
Well,
she's
they-
a lot.
they're
I
50s?
only
She's
talk to old
around
people.
a lot of old people.
I only talk to old people. My
Not
best
the
friend
being
is
50s old,
87.
Not the being 50s old.
Is she actually 87? Your best friend?
no.
That was very specific age.
Sorry.
Yeah,
She doesn't have friends.
Jesus.
Why 50s?
Throw me
Why
under the
50s
bus.
though? Oh, that's interesting. Okay,
I think it's more of what I was saying. They get to the point, like if they've had kids, their kids are raised at that point, moved on. They've kind of built the career that they wanted for themselves, so they maybe have a bit more financial freedom. And
Yes, that thing.
they're
that would be
just-
nice.
Yeah, same.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh,
it
yeah,
would
that
be
thing.
lovely, wouldn't it? So you just have the chance to do what you really want. And you've had life experience enough that you've matured greatly. You're a bit smarter than what you were in your 20s or 30s. You don't have that maybe young and dumb mentality anymore. So you just kind of get to live your life. Like that's what people have told me.
Well, I'm excited
Okay,
to
we've
find
got
out.
a lot to live for then.
Got a
Yeah,
lot.
I
I think it's exciting.
I think so too. I also think that maybe we'll do a recap when we're all 50.
Yeah, can we?
Love that.
Yeah, we should.
And also, sorry if this is taboo to say, but menopause and then no more
Yes.
of that struggle after.
Yes.
That's a
Yes.
reason
Yes.
to enjoy your 50s, if not none other.
Yes. Yes.
Yep. Yep, I'm sick
I
of
agree.
it.
It's just getting through.
Through the menopause,
The
is harder
menopause.
part. I've been
And
watching my
then-
mum. Yeah, I've been watching my mum go through the menopause in
Yeah.
her early 50s. It doesn't seem fun. Not gonna lie, but
Oh.
after grandma age,
After-
when you've
oh,
fully lost the
yeah.
period, very good stuff. Apparently,
yeah.
I've heard good things.
Can't
Just
wait
get-
for that.
We'll just get a hysterectomy.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds
Keep,
like my
we'll
next
keep
plan.
the ovaries. Hysterectomy will be fine.
Yeah.
Okay,
Already
good
planned
idea.
it out. Already planned
Done.
it out.
And then we can peak in our 30s.
Yeah,
Yes!
exactly. We're already peaking in our. Well, we're not 30 yet. We've got a couple more months, but you're already peaking in the 30s.
You're peaking.
don't you?
I
Love
feel
it.
like I didn't realize, but I was still quite like uncertain of myself in my 20s now that I reflect. And like I wasn't sure, like, yeah, you think you know who you are, but then you don't. Because I've just
Oh,
gotten
no.
so much more comfortable in my skin like the last year or so. I don't
I
know
think so
what it
too.
is.
Yes.
I don't know what it was
yeah.
about turning like 28, 29, but something just like settled differently where I was like, oh, I already thought I had like self-love, but I have like even more somehow.
I've got more.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah,
that.
I
Yeah,
agree.
go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
so good.
You know what? 30. We're
Yeah.
doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's turn 30, everyone.
When do you guys turn 30?
I'm in January and she's
May next year.
Oh, your age is away.
like, yeah.
I know, I've still got a little bit of time.
I feel
you
like
gotta hold it
29 wasn't great because it was stressful. Like you're on the edge.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the edge of glory.
Anyway,
Yeah.
no, don't enjoy it. Enjoy being on the edge. It doesn't
So
last forever.
I feel like, okay, this is why I feel like 30 is going to be better for me. All right.
Okay, here we go.
I've got a son that's turning 4 in literally like next week.
Wow.
And yes. So I feel like my 30s are going to be like my 20s because he'll be a bit older. I'll be able to start going to the movies again whenever I want because I can just take him with me. You know,
good point,
like
yeah.
that's kind of like what I use to measure a good life is how much you can go to the theater. But
Can you
yes.
not take him now?
oh, I can, but you know, we
He's
we just
noisy.
went and saw Inside Out 2 and he loved it and that was
Oh, good.
amazing. But you know, if I want to go see Avengers, he's a little bit young to come at this point, you know.
What is Avengers? So sorry. Oh no, so sorry. I'm
Yeah, I'm
myself
like,
here.
yeah, you're just like, what have I
Oh my
said?
God.
Oh my goodness.
Just forget I said that. I'm gonna
All
Google
the
it straight after.
you know, Marvel, the superheroes, it's like her
Yeah.
whole world. Don't
Yeah.
worry.
Oh, yeah.
Superheroes.
Superheroes,
superheroes.
Star Wars, Lord of the Rings.
Love them.
It's
Oh,
my
love it, love
life. I just shook the laptop.
You're like, yes, I
Someone
love it.
at
I
a
love
restaurant
it.
got really angry at me the other day because I didn't know who a main Lord of the Ring character was.
And they got mad at you?
Oh my god.
Yeah, a waiter did. He was just
Wait.
was really sassy about it, and I was just like, oh, I feel like incompetent now.
How did the waiter bring it up in
Hell
conversation?
yeah.
Like,
don't
hello,
know.
would you like
Hello,
some
here's your
Gollum
food.
with
Do you
the
like Lord of
potatoes?
the Rings?
He
I need to know before I give you your food.
He referred to me as a character. I can't remember,
Oh.
like someone Gat something, and then I didn't know who it was, and then he sassily walked away.
Gandalf? Is that who he was saying?
Maybe
Gandalf the Wizard? Gandalf the Grey?
Is that a compliment?
Yeah, Gandalf is like he's the thing. Like he's a great
Yes.
guy. He's a great guy in the
Oh,
books
so-
and movies. So he's a
so
wizard.
yeah.
Like he's,
He's a wizard, Howdy.
not that wizard, but yes,
Yes.
yes.
See, I can't get around the Lord of the Rings, but I'm gonna give it a shot. But I feel like I wouldn't know either, so I'd be in
Yeah,
the same
but I
boat as
see
you.
it as
I
a
reckon-
chance. I wouldn't get mad at anyone for not knowing anything. I
Yeah,
would
it's a
see
chance
it
to
as a
bring them
chance
along.
to educate and bring
Yes.
into this cult.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm in the cult now that I've been, compared to such a great person. I'm in the cult. Done.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, being compared to Gandalf, that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, done.
Yeah.
I'm culted. Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to New Zealand immediately and travel about.
Let's go to Hobbiton. Let's go.
Hobbiton.
Is that what it's called?
Hobbiton.
Yeah,
it's a real.
don't you know?
Don't you know? Don't you pretend? Hello, this is the biggest Lord of the Rings fan compared to Gandalf.
Gandalf.
Gandalf. The Grey.
The Great. And
The
I'm
Grey.
the Grain. Oh gosh. It's escalating.
It's escalating
Shall we
indeed.
change the subject?
Ah, yes.
Let's move away from Lord of the Rings.
We have to, otherwise I can't continue the conversation anymore.
Yeah,
I'll
no,
be talking
I
to
won't-
myself.
Yeah,
I'll be
that's
talking
right.
to myself. Oh, God. I would love to know, we would love to know 3 songs that you have a connection to in some way. It could be an emotive, could be nostalgic. What way would you say?
And why?
And why?
And why? Okay. Do you want me to tell you something really emotional?
Oh yes, please.
Oh, yes.
We love that
Okay,
stuff.
okay. So I look after
Yes.
this woman with early onset Alzheimer's, and
Oh, wow.
I've been with her for 2 years, like almost full time every day.
Gosh.
Anyway, she's an incredible pianist and all this stuff. Anyway, it's been an incredible story. But we go to this choir called Musical Memories Choir, but she thinks we're just part of a normal choir because she can't realize that she's got Alzheimer's because it's too traumatic.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Anyway, and they play bridge and they sing Bridge Over Troubled Water, and every time I just die, and then I start like weeping, and then because it's like, oh, the lyrics, it just gets me, and then she's like, and she follows me out every time. She's like, are you okay? Like, and she's like comforting me. She doesn't realize why I'm crying.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
And I feel so bad because I'm supposed to be there, like supporting her, and then I'm just like sitting there in tears, and she's like comforting
Oh,
me.
she's just
Oh
like
my
taking
God.
care
my
of you.
gosh.
So beautiful.
That's
What a
beautiful that you go and do that. And that
sweetheart.
sounds like a wonderful thing that like a thing for people as well. Like so music memory what was it called again?
It's called Musical Memories Choir.
That's so wonderful.
She doesn't. We just sing with all these people every week, and I love it because I practice my singing, which is
Yeah.
great, and we sing together, and it's really, really beautiful.
That's so special.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's my sad, emotional one.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is so
that was a great
beautiful.
one. And it's a beautiful song. Like honestly, a very, very great song. Like I
Yeah.
think one of the best.
It is. It's like I will be. Yeah, I can't. It's like being your friend when everyone else is like disappeared and in the dark. Because she's had these moments I used to stay overnight with her, and she used to wake up and be so freaked out. She didn't know who she was or where she was, and there's like
man.
lines in that song that are like in the dark when the darkness comes, and I'm like, oh my God,
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Oh stop. That
dying. So that's my sad one. But then, do you know what song I'm really vibing at the moment?
yeah.
I actually think I wrote it down somewhere. Oh, you guys should listen to this after. It's so good. Close to Me by The Cure.
Oh,
we love The
yeah. That's a
Cure.
great song.
Just puts you in such a good mood. Like, honestly,
Yeah.
I could be weeping after Bridge Over Troubled Water, and then that song comes on, and you're just like motivated and pumped
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
The Cure is so special
Cure.
with their music. Like
They are.
just like it's got like a bop or like not like they've got like a movement that I do whenever I listen to
Yeah,
The Cure.
I feel like The Cure has like a sweetness
Yeah.
to it. Like it comforts me. They've got like a really comforting, I don't know. We once spoke to someone who said that different songs are in your frequency. And I feel like The Cure has always had that kind of, it's in my frequency. It tickles
Yeah.
me.
Yeah,
Tickles
it's
me.
because you're in the right way.
Yeah, just in the right little boop, boop, boop. You know?
I think it's the bass line.
I believe that, yeah.
It's so groovy.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
What's your favourite motivational song? I'll write it down.
Oh, yes.
Motivational
Motivation. Like,
song.
that
Oh,
pumps me up.
Was that what you asked for? Yeah, that's what we said.
Yeah,
Yeah,
motivation's
any-
one of them, yeah.
Yeah,
Like, anything that you feel personally connected to. That was a great one.
Anything that gives you like strong emotions, whether they're good or bad, you know?
Oh, yeah. Like, pump it up. I'm
I
trying
don't
to think of...
know.
I'm going through my, like, my me playlist that, like, makes me feel...
So I've spoken about this one on the podcast, but It's My Life by Bon Jovi is a song that really kind of gets me going.
Oh, how does that
Because-
go?
It's like, it's my life.
Oh, right, yeah.
It's now or never. Yeah, I really relate to the lyrics. Like I've had that like epiphany moment where I'm listening to that song and I'm like, oh my God, this is a chance for me to kind of become the puppeteer of my life rather than being the puppet, because I felt like that growing up. So this is my chance to grab life by the balls and just ride it.
Take control. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a song that's kind of given me that lift, that push to kind of get on with my life.
So you control your life instead of life controlling you. Yeah.
Correct,
That's
yeah.
cool. I like
Yeah.
that.
See,
Yeah.
for
We
me-
have the power.
We
Yeah,
have the
exactly.
power,
We're
exactly
in
right.
control.
We are the people that make our lives what we want it to be.
It's all in your head a lot.
It's so
Yeah.
true. It's so true.
And I
it's
feel
all
like
about
a song
perspective.
can really switch you into that mindset
Yes.
as well.
Yes.
What was your one?
I was looking through my playlist that I usually go to, and I think that if I'm thinking of a song that's motivated me consistently, and it doesn't motivate me because of the lyrics necessarily, but like since I was in high school and I was probably like in my most like depresso episode mode, like where life was like horrible. If I needed just like a pick me up song, that like a song that like no matter what, like it just reaches a part of my body that like just always puts me in a better mood. The song Give It Up by Casey and the Sunshine Band, which is like na 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 baby give it up baby give it up. Yeah,
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one. I'm gonna write that down too.
Yeah, it just puts me in like I used to listen to it at school sometimes, and to just like make sure that, because I'd rock up to school like where you could tell I was crying the night before.
Oh no!
And then like yikes! And then I would like sit in the art room with my friends, and while they were like in discussion, like when I could tell I'm like, okay, like I need to pick me up, I would just put that song on, and like it's like in my body I couldn't not sing along and like enjoy myself.
Yeah.
And I still go to it whenever I need a little pick me up.
I thought you would have chosen
so
a different
cool.
song.
What song were
honest.
you thinking?
I was thinking Cranberries.
Dreams.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dreams.
I do
Cranberries.
like Dreams a lot.
I've been listening
Yeah.
to them lately. Linger.
Cranberries are good. Oh, Linger's a track.
Oh, that is
Have you
a track.
been listening to the Royal Otis version of Linger?
Yes,
It's a great
yes,
song.
that's
So
why I
they've
think
got
those
such
are-
good covers. Oh.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they're good. Yeah, I was listening to their covers the other day. But isn't it crazy how you can just listen to a song and it can completely shift your mindset? Like, I
Of
love that.
course.
It's amazing, and I
So
feel like
powerful.
you gotta be in the right mind frame for that to happen. You're willing to accept this new
100%.
transition in your brain.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think you got to be open at the time,
Yeah.
and you're not
Yeah.
always open. Like I can listen to "It's My Life" right now and be like, meh,
No,
whatever.
really?
But at the time, I was like, my life is about to change. Like I could feel, like
the lyrics are speaking to
they're
me.
speaking to me because I was in the right. I would think I was desperate enough for those lyrics to
hit you.
to hit.
Oh, okay. See,
What's
I
your
find the
third?
Close to Me one hits every time.
Yeah, that's like me with Casey and Sunshine.
Yeah. Can I tell you a good quote I read the other day?
Ooh, please do.
My partner said it was terrible. But it's like, instead of focusing on what might go wrong, focus on what will go right. So like,
Yes.
Yeah,
I've
used to-
heard that one before.
oh,
I've
okay.
heard of that
Does
one.
that make sense?
yeah.
I
Of course
think
it
that's
makes sense.
sensible.
Why is that a bad one?
I think that's fantastic
that's
because we are
good.
always so quick to think of the negatives and the bad things. So what if this happened? What if that happened?
Yeah.
We're always quick to the negative. Like it's
Yeah, I think it
It's human
comes,
nature
I think
almost.
I think especially like growing up when we did like especially like in the early 2000s, it was like fed to us to like overanalyze ourselves and like especially by media, and like it became natural to like think, to have judgment as part of our lives and like have judgment towards ourselves as well.
Yeah.
And then I think that like, so it's natural to have that negative thought be like the instantaneous thought, but like you have to manually focus on the positive sometimes. And like quotes like that help you manually remember like, oh shit, I'm supposed to do that. I'm supposed to
Yeah.
focus on what will go
Yeah,
right.
because
rather than
whenever
what
I
will go
find my
wrong.
brain like going back that way, like worrying of what might go wrong, I'm like, hang on, that quote, come on, like
Yeah.
switch back.
yeah.
And yeah, it's like
Yeah.
retraining your brain.
Yes.
But yeah, it's interesting how
I like
that
the
can
quote.
help you then have positive outcomes.
It does. I feel like
Yes.
I think again like it comes to if you're open enough to want to like take in the quote and not just read it for what it is and actually like see how it applies for you, then
Yeah.
it's gonna do its job like that it's trying to serve you
Yeah.
with.
Yeah.
Yeah, but some people just the quotes are not their way of like reaching their heart. But I get really inspired by quotes. Like we were
So do
reading out a
I.
bunch of quotes the other day. Actually, we were making like a little mood board the other day. And we're both like reading quotes, and we're like, "Damn, these are so good."
Yeah.
What was a good one? Do you remember?
Oh, I put some in.
Oh yeah. It was more like
I love a good quote.
make life what you want. It was that sounds
Life,
so
what you
shit.
make it, so let's make it rock. Like,
But it was like Elle, where do I find those thingies?
Oh, I'll
wait.
tell you
Oh,
a
your
good one
college.
while you're looking
yes.
for yours. My friend told me this the other day. Contentment is fleeting. Oh, powerful.
ooh, fleeting.
Fleeting.
I like
Because
the
when I
words.
got kicked out of my place, it was like, well, contentment is fleeting. We'll embrace the next location.
Yeah.
Oh, I like
that. I thought that was
That's
cool.
really nice.
I like
I
that.
really like that a
Yeah, I
lot.
like that. I've only got statements on my mood board. It was, I will create the life I want, which again aligns with John Bon Jovi. Remember?
Yep, nice.
And also, I've got healing my inner child.
Is your
That's
inner
a
child?
statement. Yeah, she's bruised. She's a bit
Oh,
bruised.
I'm
You
sorry.
know?
Yeah.
No, that's okay. Like I had a good childhood, don't get me wrong. I had a good childhood. Like I had fun a lot of the time. But there was just things, that happened that it was just emotionally hard. And that's something that I feel like every person in the world should focus on healing their inner child if they need to.
So is this for when you were really young or in your teenagers?
I'm going to say a bit of both.
Bit of
A
both.
bit of
Okay.
both, yeah.
I won't. You don't have to share anything that you feel uncomfortable.
Oh, this episode's about you.
Yeah.
I
yeah,
want to
sure.
know. I want to know.
Sorry,
I spilled my guts on you.
We ended up talking too much about us. Oh no, we like it. We could
we
always
like
talk
it.
about ourselves, but
But what about you? Like, how is your inner child?
Oh, I didn't realize it was bruised.
Really?
Well, I knew because I grew up in, like I said, like a area that wasn't very accepting of diversity and things like that. So I
Yeah.
always tried to squash that part down. And if you see a picture of me in high school, like I look completely different because I was trying to be really feminine and girly and fit into the environment that I was in, and then moved away from there, like literally just cut my hair. And it was kind of weird though, so I was so scared because no one had sort of, I wish someone had just come up to me and said, like, it's okay. We know you feel this way. It's okay. Like, that's all I really needed. But no one,
Yeah.
like, ever said that. So you just actually think you're deranged.
yeah, it's so
And
true.
you think there's something wrong with you. It's pretty crazy.
It's so true in that time because you're just looking for some sort of guidance from someone else or like someone older that knows it, but like everyone is too wrapped up in their own lives to like give you that guidance and just to let you know that it's okay. So we have to just do it for ourselves when we're older.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think like my parents were obviously scared of their children being different or something, and yeah, it's just funny because the woman I work with who's got Alzheimer's, she's a huge activist, and she's always like embraced, she's always been going to rallies, and she's embraces my sexuality every day. So I think being
Aw.
around that, but generally like being in Melbourne as well. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so but having if Liz was like my auntie as a kid, like I would have had a totally different
Yeah.
Yeah, so
experience.
true.
Yeah, it's just interesting.
It is true when you think about that. I feel it's kind of nice as an adult when you get to like make a new set of family in a different way where you get to choose which people are around you and you get to meet new people that like you might have only had like one conversation with them once randomly in passing, or they might be someone that you see every day like you and Liz, but like you get to see other adults in your life even though you're an adult now that like were the representation you needed or were there to validate you in the way that maybe you needed your parents to.
Yeah, validation, that would have been
Yeah.
big. And that's why these sorts of cities are so amazing, where it's so multicultural and diverse and everyone can just express themselves the way they feel because then everyone's exposed to that. And then so everyone becomes accepting and it just makes such a huge difference to people's lives, I think.
I agree with you. I
Definitely.
actually see that. I do agree with you in terms of Melbourne being that for Australia, in my opinion as well. Like I was in Perth earlier this year, and I saw the difference in I'm so used to like walking down the street and seeing someone of every single ethnicity, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
or going to primary school and the same person at like people at school. Everyone was from a different from somewhere else, including ourselves. So like, where like when I was in Perth, I noticed there wasn't much diversity in any form really, like that I could see as like a tourist in Perth.
Yeah.
So like conversations I would have with people were very different, or like just like the way conversations would flow were a lot different, and you don't realize it because until you're in that position that you don't realize how like open and understanding and how like it's a natural inbuilt thing to just be more accepting when you've been around people from all walks of life from from the get-go.
Yeah, I think it's because if you're not exposed to it, maybe you're scared of something that you've never seen. Because as soon as my parents like met my partner and they realized that we were just like two very normal people.
Yeah.
And then they sort of warmed to me and her, and they're great with us. But yeah, I think they just were scared of what the unknown because they weren't around it like we are
Yeah.
in these sorts of more progressive locations.
Yeah. Yeah.
100%, yeah. It, like, if you don't mind me asking, you don't have to answer at all, but like when you first did come out to your parents, like how did that experience go? Like how it was, like I can only imagine it being very like scary to start off with.
Yeah,
Um
well, I think they always sort of knew, and that's sort of what's a little bit frustrating as well because they never sort of. I guess it's
Mm.
tricky. Maybe they don't know what to say, or
mm,
but yeah, I had my partner at this stage, and so I sort of came out to my mum with my partner, and my
yeah.
mum was just like, "Do you love her too?" To my partner because my partner's very,
Oh.
like, I'm quite, I don't know, eccentric. When my partner's very like, she's very normal, and so I think she was just like, "How can you love him?" I don't know.
Oh.
Um,
Yeah.
and then my partner's like, "Yeah," and then my mum went away to New Zealand, and so that all went fine. Because my mum, she's a bit more compassionate and um, you know, open-minded maybe than my dad. And then my mum went away to New Zealand with my dad and told him there so he could process it before
Yeah, he had
he
time.
got
Yeah.
back, which I just think is like now reflecting is just like crazy. Um,
Yeah.
whereas every parent's different. Like when Charlotte told her parents, but she used to date guys, so I was yeah.
Right.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so she told her parents, and her dad was just like, as long as she doesn't steal my fishing rod, like as long as you're happy, I'm happy. And this is
Yeah.
Perth as well, so
Oh.
it's just yeah, I guess different people and
Yeah.
different locations. I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
And also like that generation's different upbringing as well. Like that, like one, like your parents might have had a very different upbringing to her, like hers as well. You know.
Her parents,
I think
yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
exactly. It's all like again like whatever. It's like that box we were talking about earlier. Like our box of what we're supposed to stay in versus their box is still very different, even though we
Mm,
learnt ours from theirs.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
yeah,
I think
it's
in saying that I think I found it easier to come out because I did have my partner and I could just be like, okay, look at this beautiful person I'm with. Like it's not so scary. I think
yeah,
if I didn't have her, like I don't think I would have done it for even longer. Like our friend in Perth has just come out now and he's 30. And I think it was because he struggled to do it without having someone there that he could just be like, look, I'm normal. I'm with this lovely person. Like I'm not,
yeah.
off the
Yeah.
That's
rails or
like
anything. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever thought of it that way before, but that's actually really
No.
insightful to think about
Mm-hmm.
because, like, yeah, it would add that extra layer if you don't like you're trying to tell them that like I'm gonna be safe and I'm gonna be like I'm
Yes.
going to be loved back and
Yeah.
I'm but like and
Yeah.
you have the evidence with you, which makes it
Yeah.
that little step easier. But like, it's hard for them. It's so easy for them to for someone to kind of be defensive or respond in a like with fear when they don't have like when they can't see what the final result will
That
sort of
is
Yeah.
be.
so true.
Yeah, yeah, we've been talking about that lately, me and my
Wow.
partner. Yeah, it just gave me just much more confidence and like security that she was there. I don't know if I would have done it like until I found someone that gave me that.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
I'm really
That's
glad.
really
I'm really
that's
glad
really
that you were able
beautiful.
to like, even though you had that confidence because of it, I'm really glad that you had that confidence within yourself as well to be able to
Yeah.
go and to do that with your family because,
Oh,
like that's real. A lot shows a lot of bravery within and like a lot
oh,
of self love within.
Yeah, and I'm really glad
thank
that
you.
that Charlotte gave you that she knows you now. Like she was
Mm,
someone who knew you for who you truly are within yourself, and and I'm so glad that you felt safe enough around her to have that opportunity to do it with like to talk to your parents about it and show your true self. Like that's you've found someone good when they give you like the confidence and the
mm.
safety to be able to do something
Yeah,
like
they
that.
help you grow.
And
Yeah.
that's the thing, like back in the day, we were 20 when we first met, and I would persistently hit on her for like 6 months. We're working in Rottnest at the aqua
Oh, I love
at some
Rottnest Island.
yeah, I know. We're
So
working at an
cool.
aqua park there, so we lived there. And anyway, she was just such a beautiful person to accept that, she did have feelings for me, and although it was you know, she was going to be judged for that because she'd never been with a woman before, and she'd never, you know, everyone assumed she was straight, and she was just happy to pursue that because she felt that it was right. And I just feel like a lot of people would have been too scared. So, yeah, she's a beautiful person.
Beautiful that she leaned into that, because like you said, a lot of people would get that instant feeling of like, oh, well, what will everyone else think, and kind of just deny their own feelings.
You know what it is as well? It's the perfect definition of the saying, like, when you know, you know.
Yeah.
You know, when you know something about someone, it just kind of, I don't know, the stars align.
Just feel
things happen. Everything feels easier when you have that feeling of knowing.
Yeah. And I just feel like people connect with different people as well. I think one day we hopefully won't have to come out. We can just say, look, I love this person, or I love this person.
Just be. You don't have to have that conversation.
Yeah.
Or labels or anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah. We just who we are, and then that's it. There's no
We're just humans that love other humans. Like,
yeah, exactly.
No, it's so strange. It's that we have to be.
And people get so fixated on like the small, like,
I know,
like on things that they don't need to get fixated on because it doesn't even affect their lives.
They really like fixated on wanting to box people, but we don't need to be. Yeah, it's just it must be part of the human brain for organization purposes. I must put that person
to have
there.
labels.
Makes sense.
To have
Yeah, to have the labels
to
make sense of society, but I don't think it works that way.
It's moving away from that, I think, keeping more.
I think
now, so that's good.
Yeah, no, that's actually that's really, really beautiful.
Yeah,
sexual fluidity and gender fluidity. I think it's become.
Yes.
Anyway, sorry.
Yeah. Oh, you haven't told us your third song. So did you have a third song that brought out? Yes.
Oh, okay. I like Pumped Up Kicks. It just reminds me.
Good choice.
And I love how he produced it, and he just was in it. He used to be a writer for other people or a producer for other people, and then he just sort of forced himself to stay in the studio and came up with all these quirky different elements, and then just started singing the chorus. And I'm like, that's just so good. Just reminds me of being like coming of age, basically. I just really nostalgic. I love it.
Hell yeah. Yeah, that is a nostalgic song. What year did that come out?
I'm going to say 2011 or 12, but I'm probably wrong.
It was like a high school, end of high school type.
Yeah, it wasn't. That's why I'm thinking, I'm like 2011. Did you graduate 2012?
Oh my God, I can't remember.
Well,
maybe
you did, because
one of those.
I feel like because we're the same. I went to school with everyone born in the same year as you, so I feel like we did.
Yeah,
and you just got that bit of freedom, you know, and you just finished school and you feel a bit.
Oh, I love that.
2011. I feel so.
Was that me or you?
I think we both were the same. You said the end of high school, which was about then. So yes. Woo.
Oh, good time. Yeah, and then you just, you know, you got some agency and you're ready to go, and I don't know, it's just fun time.
Yeah, I actually love that song so much. I tried to learn it on the ukulele. Mind you, my ukulele playing skills are very poor, but and my ukulele was not tuned, so it was just did not sound. Yeah. But did want to ask you before though, because did you say you've been together since you were 20? So you've been together for 10 years?
Yeah. Oh, we met when we were 20. Yeah. So 9 years. We just had. Yeah, basically married, but just putting that off a bit.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
It's very wholesome. Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah, it's funny.
I'm in love with your love. That's so sweet.
I know. It's beautiful. We've been through all these life changes together, and we were looking back and like, whoa, we've been together for a third of our lives. It's a lot of growth.
I know.
It's crazy when you think of it that way.
I've actually known my husband for over half of my life.
Wow.
I met him when I was 14.
Wow.
Yeah, so
I was 14
when we met.
Birthday,
That's huge.
Yeah, so I've known him for over half of my life, and we've been together for it'll be 11 years this year. So, yeah.
And you still
Here's my life. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know anything else. I don't know anything else.
It gets to that point where you're like, "Oh, hang on, like you're like just there, like part of the furniture, basically.
Part of the furniture.
And then I have to
But I think that's the best. That's the best though, isn't it?
I know, but then you got to realize actually they can just leave. Sometimes I need to like remind myself. Like I need to spend more quality time and things like that because she's not just
Yeah, you can't get
she's
too
not actually
comfortable.
a piece of furniture. I can't
She's
just
not.
sit on
You
her.
can't. Yeah, you can't literally go and sit on her like a piece of furniture.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Um.
Come on.
Do you know what I mean, though? Do you
yeah,
have to
no,
remember
I
that?
get you.
Yes. Like I think, especially after having a child, you have to put in the effort.
Yeah.
You know. But I feel the same way about my husband. Like he's just my bestie.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
It just works. I don't have to think about it. Like we usually are on the same page.
Yeah.
And it just works. It just
Oh,
works.
that's good. That's good that you're
Yeah.
always on the same page. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds perfect.
Usually.
Usually.
Yeah.
Oh,
Usually.
does he cook for you?
No, you know what? He bought a barbecue 6 months ago, and he's been really trying to
He wants
cook
to try
for
to
us.
grill. He's trying to become a
He's
griller.
been really trying to cook for his family. He has a big thing of like providing. He's such a provider.
Oh, that's nice.
And yeah, it's really beautiful. And he's been really trying to make us, like me and my son, dinners now. Because I've always been the cook of the family.
like,
so-
what's he cooking? Just like steak and things?
Yeah, like he's really into like smoking things and stuff. So he's been smoking ribs and he's been making steaks, and we're huge meat eaters. So it's been really good. He's been really trying to dip his toe and trying to take care of us in that way instead of me being
Yes.
always the cook.
You should have bought in a
Yes.
barbecue sooner.
I know. I just
Like a
didn't
Web?
think
Is it
of
like a
that.
Weber? Yeah.
Oh, I used to love Webbers
it's,
when I was a kid.
It's not a Weber, but it can do the same things as a Weber.
For all men that
Yeah.
don't cook, we'd just buy them barbecues from now on. Genius.
It's the key.
Genius
It's the
stuff,
key.
yeah.
Right? It's the key.
Interesting. When you said Weber, I started thinking when I was recently overseas, and like I forget that like in European countries they don't have like backyards, so they don't have a barbecue that they own, but they sell one-time use barbecues there.
What?
So there's all these people at like public parks that are just having barbecues, but not like how you would like here where there's like a public park which has like a barbecue you can just like use at the time.
Yeah, yeah.
Everyone has these like tiny like foil barbecues that you can buy that are from like the grocery store, and it's like you have like a couple of like an hour or something to cook on them, and then you've got to chuck it out. Like it's a disposable
way.
barbecue.
Where's that? In Europe?
I saw it in Berlin.
Oh,
How crazy
on
is
balconies
that?
and things, and then you just chuck them out.
Yeah, or you can just go to the like a park and have like a picnic, but you have like this baby barbecue that's like this
Oh
big.
my god, that's so
sounds
weird because I
fun.
feel like
I know.
But
I thought it was
unfortunate that you
too.
have to chuck it out.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Yeah.
I was like, that
Ah.
part's a bit shitty. But
Interesting.
other-
I can't picture a life without barbecues. I have grown up in a very barbecue family. What are we doing this weekend, Dad? We're having a barbecue.
It's quite
You know?
Australian though, isn't it? I don't,
yeah, and
I
we're,
don't know if it's
we're
like Australian
Europeans,
culture.
so we're very like because we're both Greek. Our families, like
I
Greeks
love
are really.
Greek people. Sorry,
thank
continue.
you.
I've got to show you something in a second. But
Oh, yeah,
tell
please.
Show us.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I feel like it's an Aussie thing, but it's also like I feel like Greeks are
A
really into
very
barbecues.
Greek Australian thing.
Yeah.
We're very barbecue heavy.
is that to be like generous as well? Like they keep filling up your,
yeah,
your drink?
probably.
sense of community, like to have your family around you. We're very family. That
I
I
love
have
that.
like 15 of us in the backyard at once. You know.
Yeah,
It's
and,
very
like
that.
3 different types of salads. Like
Yes.
Communal eating, like all together.
yeah,
sharing.
lots
Yeah,
of
yeah.
communal eating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay, you guys. Oh my God, fathers. I eat these beans every day.
Oh, they fucking
They're Greek beans,
yum. Yes, they are delicious.
Yum.
and I get them from this special Greek deli down the road. And I've started a bean war. Honestly, they're amazing.
war?
And I've showed all my
Yes,
friends.
that brand has I don't know what they're called. What's bumyas?
I don't know what they're
Zene.
called.
Was it?
No, there's a type of bean that we call bumyas, but I don't know what they're called in English. But that brand has amazing beans like
Oh, like the green bean.
okra. That's it.
Okra beans.
The same brand. You get the okra. It is delicious as well.
Really?
As the beans. Yes,
I bet
yes.
as good
A
as
million
these-
times,
as
yes.
good as these ones.
Those ones are
Yes. It's the same brand.
Do you think these ones are better?
better. I think those ones are
Have
better,
you had
'cause
these
I like
ones?
those.
I've had
eaten those
all, but I've got a thing for okra.
Okra
In the
okay.
can. Okra in a can.
Do you know what? I'm going to get
canned
those.
beans.
It's my last meal. Okra in a can.
Was it? This was my last meal. Okra. And so what colour's the can?
It's like that one. It's got like a white with the same like brand, but you can see on the picture it's like a long green. Do you know what okra is?
It looks like a string bean, but it's like a bit thicker.
It's like a string bean, but it's like wears a hat.
Yum.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Oh my gosh, I love all Greek food. Okay, a bean with a hat. Okay, interesting description.
Yes, you'll know what I mean when you see it.
Yeah, just send us a picture. We'll confirm if it's the right thing.
Risque. Okay.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Um,
But yeah.
Good tip. Thank you. I'm going to get that
that's okay.
tomorrow.
they're good.
But yes,
Do
Greek
it.
food is it is superior. Unfortunately, not to be biased, but it's just great.
The Mediterranean diet. Like, don't get me started on this rant.
So
It's
good.
the best. It's the best diet.
I always
in
get
my humble opinion,
I get
as a Mediterranean person.
on the Mediterranean diet because I just want to make all that sort of food, and it's really healthy. You guys have like the number one
It's so healthy.
blueprint or something, Blue Point. Like,
Oh yeah, there's a thing where all those like all the countries that have that, where like there's one city in each country that has like the best diet ever.
Right.
Yes.
it's like lots of seafood and olive oil.
Yeah, we have a lot of seafood.
What else?
A lot of
Fish,
oil,
and
salt,
olive oil,
lemon.
and lots of vegetables.
lemon.
Love
Lots
it.
and lots of vegetables.
I love it.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm jealous.
Oh,
You'll have to
it's okay.
start
We
running
adopt you
cooking
as our
sessions. That would be
our
great.
Greek child. Yeah. That is older than us, but like
Yes.
I get tips all the time for cooking. Like you throw the pasta at the wall and it sticks. That means it's al
Oh
dente.
yeah.
My Italian friend.
I'm gonna steal that.
Anyway,
one.
sorry.
Ah. See, I find it funny when people say like when you do that to do this to tell if it's al dente, whereas I just eat it.
Yeah, I
And I'm
usually eat it too.
Oh no! You got to throw it first. It's
I'm gonna try throwing
You
it.
throw, then you eat. That
Yeah.
way,
Throw,
and
then
that
eat.
I have not thrown it to the wall
Eat it
to
off
stick
the
it.
wall?
No, I have this thing so when it's too hot, I'll like fling it in the air like this for a while to like make it feel like it's cooled
What
down.
does that tell you?
It
That
just tells
sounds
me that it's cooled down.
exhausting.
Yeah,
No.
I don't cook much, so let's like
I'm just picturing you flapping the pasta around the kitchen on your own.
I am. Anyway, back to what was the next question? Ah, yes. So the final question we ask all of our guests is if you could go back to a certain age or time when you were a child or like teenager, and you could speak to yourself again, like what is it that you would probably say to yourself? Or what do you think you needed to hear back then?
Well, obviously the validation as a kid would have been good, but if I could go back in time, I would probably go to like just after high school and say, okay, be yourself now and just move to a different state straight away. And yeah, I wish I just did that straight away, like when I was 19 instead of
Yeah,
waiting.
just kind of got your life started.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like sooner. Because I did a degree that I wasn't really interested in and things like that and wasted a lot of time. And I wish I just said, okay, like the time is now, just be your authentic self, find somewhere that empowers you and embraces you and just like go there and don't be afraid. And yeah, I wish I would have done that. But it's a lot.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's actually interesting you say that because like it's true, like in a lot of times it's like we think that we have to stay in the same spot and grow in that same spot and like we have to adapt to the people and the location, like the environment around us. But like there is always the option of actually leaving, and just because you leave doesn't mean you're trying to escape. It just means you're finding where you want to be.
Yeah.
The environment that's working
your
for
roots.
you, you
Find
know?
it somewhere else.
Where you
Yeah.
align with. Yeah, that's an interesting
Exactly.
point that you try and adapt, to fit in certain areas where really
like you
should.
don't have to.
Yeah, well, you should be finding the area that like empowers you. That's a good point.
exactly.
We should teach that at schools.
I think so too, because I
agree.
think a lot of the time people, especially in Australia, I know people that have lived in Victoria their whole life and have never thought to even leave Victoria, but like are miserable in Victoria. So it's like,
No.
Really?
like
Make
adventure.
a life for yourself.
Yeah, or like at least go see something else and see if you connect with people in another location, or if you can learn something new about yourself in a different location. Because I don't know, I feel like I feel like a lot of people think like, oh, like I feel like this, but like I have to grow, like I have to really, even though there's nothing in my environment that's serving me, I have to try and make it serve me. When like
That
you
is
don't have to.
such
Like-
a good point. I love that. And I do think we should teach that to children. Like just because here you're not feeling great doesn't mean there's not other areas in the world that would really
Yeah.
like bring out your full self.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a really good point. Well done.
Yeah. No, well done to you because you're the reason I thought of that. So
Oh, collaborative effort.
yeah, collaborative efforts. Yeah.
Yep.
We're
But
so
I
wise.
really, really appreciate that. I know. I really like that every time
it's
we've
being nearly 30.
Yeah, it's being nearly 30.
It is. We've
what
gotten
it is.
quite
We've become
intelligent.
wise.
We have.
I think so.
Impart our wisdom. Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely. No. Well, thank you so much for chatting with us.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely love chatting with you.
And you. And I'm going to go get some orca beans straight after this. I'm actually really excited.
Yeah.
And I'll let you know how that
should.
goes.
Have some crusty bread.
And crusty bread. Oh, stop.
Dip. You got to dip. You got to dip. You got to eat like a Greek. You got to dip. Get the crusty bread. Penne di casa. Great bread.
Oh,
Dip it.
It's like, let me write this down.
Dip it in the sauce.
dip in the sauce.
Oh.
And with the beans.
You don't even need a fork, my friend.
You don't.
Just use the bread as your fork.
I like that. Save resources. Just
Yeah.
straight bread.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to do
yeah.
that. You guys are so fun. I feel like if we met in real life,
you.
we'd be best buddies.
Well, we should because you're not that far. Like, we should.
I know. We should.
So amongst this Biggie conversation, not Biggie, about the P. Diddy conversations.
P. Diddy.
I've been
I'm all
again
in
in a rabbit hole because how can we not speak about it again this week because it's all that's been on my mind.
Well, yeah. It's
And
all that's
everyone's.
over TikTok now. Yeah.
But I before we went to record today found a video that popped up that was going through Biggie's old songs and how he mentions Raven Simone
What?
in a way that's I can't remember what the exact lyric was, but it's in a way that's basically like talking about her in a not so like PG-13 way.
Wow. And how old would she have been at the time?
I think it said 6 or 8 and he would have been 22 or 21.
Jesus Christ. I don't care how old he is. That's
Yeah.
6 or 8, whatever.
Yeah,
That's
so-
bad.
Yeah, really disgusting. Don't know if those
Shit.
lyrics, like obviously it was a video on TikTok, so who knows how true those lyrics are or if it thing, but I don't know. I've been like in a deep rabbit hole lately of the P. Diddy stuff on TikTok and just like realizing that so many artists seem to have really tried to like subtly show us who he was, like and sneakily put it in music videos, like
Yeah.
the Kanye West famous music video.
Yeah.
Have you? I remember that video, right? The
I
wax
remember-
and
yeah.
them sitting in the bed, but I went back and rewatched it.
Yeah, I
2
didn't
nights ago.
rewatch the video because it kind of gave me the creeps, but I saw the picture. And all the people that were in it were so like associated with what's going on right now.
Yeah, it's not even like Bill Cosby was in it, so
Yeah.
But like, it's also like really, really creepy. The way the actual music video is, it goes around and it films people like the wax figures or the people that were modeling in that, I guess.
Yeah.
Like in a very like there's like a whole part of the music video that's just like eerie and quiet and it's a really long music video and just showing people naked laying on a bed.
Oh my God,
But,
I need to watch it.
It's
It gives
very,
me the
very
creeps.
It was very creepy and disturbing. However, in hindsight, now watching it and understanding what we understand about the P. Diddy parties and stuff like that, and the fact that scene is filmed on like a big white bed
Yeah, and obviously Diddy is known for having a huge white bed.
in his backyard.
Yeah.
And it's basically someone holding a camcorder filming all these people while they're asleep.
Oh.
It's now very eerie to think that, oh my God, this whole time Kanye was trying to be like, I'm just showing you exactly what happens in Hollywood.
Oh my God.
It's freaking terrifying. It's so
Jesus.
creepy. I cannot comprehend that this is the world we're living in right now where we're finding out this stuff about people that we idolize so much as children.
I
People that we
know.
idolize so much. We're like people, like every millennial right now is like, I'm never going to be able to listen to any song I ever liked. Like
I know.
I'm going to tear some of these people on my wall down.
I know. I saw someone rocking it out to like Mozart because
I watched
they
it.
were like, we've got nothing else
We got
to listen
nothing
to
left,
now.
which is great. I like Mozart.
I love Mozart.
Yeah,
But yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to understand, as someone who is not famous, is not in Hollywood, and is not excessively rich. Maybe I'm just being naive, right? But what is it about having a lot of money and fame that makes you want to do fucked up things?
I don't know either. I don't know if it's like a trauma response because it's like, what else? Like if I can have everything, I want to have everything. I don't
Yeah.
know how that like
Maybe
the
it's like a
psyche
power
behind-
thing as
Yeah,
well.
perhaps it is a power thing. From what I'm like understanding is that it seems like a lot of people were drugged and apparently I think with horse tranquilizer.
Oh,
So
Lord.
like a lot of people were like drugged or like their drinks were laced with something. Basically, they were then just like, I assume half of them didn't even realize what they were doing, perhaps.
Yeah.
And were led in a certain direction. And then now there's footage of it. So then now that they've done it and it's in it, like there's another level of shame maybe associated with it.
Yeah.
So then they're just in it.
Yeah, I get it from that point of view, but people...
That's me being hopeful that they're not intentionally trying to get into it.
No,
as well.
no, I totally understand from that point of view, but it's also the people like Diddy and allegedly like Diddy, I should say, and allegedly like what people are saying, like Jay-Z and Beyonce and all of these, whoever went to Epstein Island and whoever willingly stayed after midnight at these Diddy parties. Like,
Yeah.
I'll never be able to comprehend.
Yeah.
I think
It's really,
why
really,
these things happen.
It's just a whole different world. And
Yeah.
it's made me really, really grateful to be very far away from the States.
Oh, my God, me too.
I feel really, I just makes it allows for that little bit of like, obviously there's probably shit like that going around here as well. But like,
Yeah, it's obviously everywhere.
Yeah, of
right?
course.
It's obviously just coming out now because it's coming from Hollywood.
yeah, but like that whole poppy syndrome that we have in Australia,
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes like that I'm a teensy bit grateful for it because it's like, is that why we're like none of this shit is like why we don't have our own version of like that Hollywood scene?
Yeah, or at least we don't know.
We don't know. Yeah,
what
we're not in
happens.
it, so we don't really know.
We don't know. But I get what you're saying. It makes me grateful to just be an average Joe.
Yeah, 100%. I
Yeah.
would love every day I'd pick Average Joe's Gymnasium.
Yes, I'm with you.
Over Globo
I'm
Gym.
with
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. Average Joe's.
Average Joe's as it is. Just
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
yeah. It's changing music.
It is because you don't know what's good, and it's changing not just music but actors. And,
Oh yeah, everything.
and you know, what if you find out that your favorite actor in all your favorite movies has done fucked up shit? What do you do? Do you just not watch those movies anymore?
That's what we said last week. We don't know.
I don't know.
I think more than just that, like it's kind of like there's so many people, including ourselves, that are so like our lives are so involved with media
Yeah.
that like to know that that's that the values of the media we're consuming and the people that created the things that we think that we are aligned to are actually not aligned to us at all, and they might be very creative people and they might be able to have a lot of talent in a lot of ways, but like that the people that we've been idolizing this whole time, the media we've been idolizing this whole time is kind of based upon like a lot of
Lies.
and deception and like just hidden
bad
meaning that's
things,
yuck
yeah.
yuck. I don't know.
Yuck. Yeah. Yuck.
Yuck indeed. Like it's a wild
Yikes.
thing. Wild thing.
As long as the people on our wall.
Well, the only other person I'm very concerned about on my wall, because I have Destiny's Child up there,
Oh, yeah.
is currently the lovely Beyonce.
Beyonce.
There's a lot of stuff being said about her, allegedly said about her at the moment.
Yeah, a lot of crazy shit.
Yeah, which there always has been, right? Like there's always been those rumors about the Illuminati and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Eek. But
Like with her pregnancy belly.
oh yeah, with him. That one I can kind of. I'm like, maybe she just put a little other belly so it can just look bigger than it is.
Yeah, I get it, but
Did she have a surrogate? Is that what it was like confirmed?
no, I don't think so.
Oh.
She had that full on thing at like those music award shows where she revealed her belly.
Yeah, and she. Oh yeah, and she went like
Remember?
that. Yeah.
And it was such a huge deal. Oh my God, Beyonce's having a baby.
Yeah.
It was such a huge deal at the time.
So bizarre. I don't know. I'm hopeful that the world will come back around in like a
Yeah.
that like we can all heal from this time, because I think this is like to me this is like the pandemic of media the last couple of years.
Yeah.
It's like it's been a very I feel like we're in like 2020 all over again, but it's all like in the social space.
All the social media and Hollywood and
Everything's getting pulled out from everything that's been hidden for a long time is getting pulled up.
yeah. Well, to be continued.
Yeah.
Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, we'll update I think everyone's watching along with
Yeah, I don't even
everyone
think you
else's
need
updates.
us
You don't
to-
need us to
to
update. You guys
update.
can update us.
Yeah. Not that we update anyway. We're just like, ugh, the whole time.
Honestly, it's corrupted so much of my headspace.
Yeah, it's really bad. You can't go anywhere now without it.
Yeah. The other night, I stayed up till 5 a.m. Granted, my ADHD medication kept me up.
Right.
However, it didn't help that I was hyper focused on watching Diddy stuff.
Yeah. Insane. Insane.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we'll let it go now. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for listening or watching. We really hope you enjoyed it. And we will see you next week. Please don't forget to follow Harper Bloom on all of her socials and to listen to her latest EP. Anyways, guys, we will see you next week.
Yeah. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.